Welcome to Greek Archaeology. I'm just going to read the script here. You can follow along. In Greek archaeology, we dig into the sands of time, into eyewitness accounts, into the original Greek, written a staggering 2,000 years ago. Greek archaeology has created a consistent procedure that functions as a Swiss Army knife. This tool has incredible digging ability. This tool will help you dig or study into the New Testament, digging or studying the mind of one Greek word family at a time. Dig to find precious artifacts beneath the surface. Filter through the rocks, dust off the dirt, polish the gems, present them, and then go find new ones. One Greek discovery will lead to another. Follow the chain of evidence. Say, for instance, I am interested in the word will, as in the phrase, the will of God. Now, that's a pretty big topic, so I thought this is going to be a good example to show you how to do it yourself, okay? So the method and the procedure in the system is to go to www.blueletterbible.com on your computer. So let's do that. So I'll click out of pages, come over here, and let's just say you're there with me right now. So in this little search box right here, I'm going to type in, well, let's just do it this way, will of God. Return. And so here it shows up, the will of God, the will of God, the will of God. And to get the Greek number, that's what we want. We want the Greek number. So here's the first instance. There's this tools over here. For every verse, there's this tool. And you just hover over it, and you click the top one called interlinear. And here you're right down to your Greek. And you just scroll down to find will, and here it is, will. And it's got this hyperlink, G2307, that's Thelma, and click on it. And voila. We can get there's a lot of information here, but the main thing is, this has a total count of 64 times. That is from Matthew to Revelation, 64 times in total. And that's all the data that we have from 2,000 years ago to study the will of God. And I like to limit myself to just these 64 verses to be able to create a connected, well-anchored thought on what the Bible does reveal about the will of God in a true sense. Not making up my own items, but actually, you'll see as we go through more. Okay, so here we are, and it's about this simple. You see this copy button up here. We want to copy all 64 of these verses and get them and paste them into our computer. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to click, check this verse, and I got to check the box of all 64 verses. When I'm done checking them, I come up here to this copy and hit copy, and I'm done because I've got them all copied. So that I come back to my word processing document, and this is what we just did. I just wrote everything we just did. I wrote out for you, so you don't have to remember it. You know, go to the search window, tools, click on interlinear, put in the word will, click on G2307, and voila, 64 occurrences. Now we're going to copy and paste them. And so you check the small boxes, and I've written it all out for you. So here it is on mine, and I'm pasting it right now. And it's Greek 2307 Thelma. This is the word for will. There's 64 occurrences in the New Testament. This is now our database from which to explore. The first stage is just to read all these verses again and again. Take a half an hour to read them, but let's just scroll through them. And these are on my computer, so I can just kind of show you some of the things that I do. So like here's all the verses in Matthew, and they end right here. So I come down here and separate them off. So when I read them, I just come from Matthew's view from 2,000 years ago for a while. And then there's all the marks. And then there's really cool verses in here. And then especially these mysterious ones in John. Look how many there are in John. I can tell you, you just spend your whole lifetime here in these verses right here trying to figure them out. But they're beautiful. Okay, then we come down to Acts. That's quite a book, huh? And then we get into Paul's epistles for Romans and Corinthians and Galatians and Ephesians, and just tremendous verses in there. And then Paul ends like here in Hebrews, and so I just put a line there. And then here's Peter, and Peter's got a few things to say about this. So we can go study what did he have to say about this later, you know? You guys can go study all this. And then look, here's John again. 3 more times for John. They could go over this gospel. So now, what I've written about this database is it's comprehensive. This database includes each and every, all occurrences in the New Testament. See, that's like the opposite of zip, zero, nada. However, this database is kind of like a cluster puzzle. So that's where we come and put our computer skills to use, and we are now ready to rearrange things on your computer, to group verses together that share a commonality, and then to cut, copy, and paste them together, what you found, and then to highlight on your computer like I've done here. You can see I've highlighted everything in red. And you can write short notes, and you'll see I've written a few short notes. But these are about your connected thoughts that you've grouped together so you have an anchored composition, an anchored point of view from to actually state really what the New Testament is saying about this topic, whichever one word you're studying. So here is an example. I've taken out 15 verses from that huge list up above, cut, copied, and pasted them, played with them, and in each and every one of these verses, the word to do shows up. It's the get or done connection. And I tell you, this word to do is the Greek word poema, and it's a very powerful word. It means to create or to make, like when God created the heavens and the earth. This is a huge power. So anyway, these verses are very powerful, and if you read through them, or you can watch this video again, you just write down these verses or read them right here. Oh, just incredible. Just incredible, these verses. So, like, look at this right from the beginning. Your kingdom come, your will be done. That's the Father's will. Like, that's his big thing, what he wants, and he wants it done. You know, so in 7 it says, well, he just doesn't want, he wants it done. So he wants anyone who wants to step up, and he who does the will of the Father will enter into the kingdom of heavens. Whoever does the will of my Father, he's my brother, you know, and sister, and he's my mother. She's my mother. Which of the two did the will of the Father? He asked somebody, you know, like, you did do it or you didn't do it. Are you working for me? Are you constructing? Are you building? Look at this one, Mega Buster. My food is to do the will of him who sent me and to finish his work. Ooh, now we have the work word. This is another power word, one of those mega dynamic words, and we're going to get into power. This will of God requires a lot of power in the universe to have it carried out, and you can just see one right after another. But look at this one in Hebrews, that he would perfect you in every good thing unto the doing of his will. Doing in us, that's him doing in us that which is well-pleasing in his sight through Jesus Christ. This is like an electrified power. It's like his doing, he needs his will done, so he does in us what makes him happy. Crazy verse, Hebrews 13:21. Don't forget that one. Peter, he says it really interesting things for those of you who may know what this word bios is. To bios the rest of your time in the will of God. Incredible verse to think about. And John, the world is passing away, but he who poemas the will of God abides, forever. So 15 times the word to do is connected with the phrase the will of God. This provides us with an anchored thought. Doing the will of God is a very important and true concept in the New Testament and is worthy to be investigated more. To go find, dig, explore for more anchored connectors. This word to do in Greek is a power word. It's poema power. Poema means to do, to make, to create, to construct. Poema comes from Strong's Greek numbers 4160 and 4161. So let's look at just a few of these poemas so you can understand that this is power. So that if you read this, since the creation of the world, being perceived by the things made that God made. God, you are the one who has made heaven and earth. God poemed the heavens and the earth. That's a lot of power. The God who made the world and all things in it. That's God who poemed. In English, it's a very weak word, do and made. But look at Ephesians 2:10. For we are his poema, his masterpiece. Something he's constructed, something he's made. That takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, and he's providing all that power. His son whom he appointed the heir of all things, through whom also he poemed the universe. So, and also in Matthew, Jesus said he made them male and female. This is how he created things, he designed things. So, in our very first connector, the original Greek manuscripts reveal a gem within a gem. Poema power to accomplish God's will. Poema power originally created the universe in the very beginning of time, and that poema power is needed to carry out, to accomplish God's will in time. This is just one connection, one example. The next YouTube video will continue investigating, digging into the will of God to find more connections. So, signing off, just modeling there what you can do, how I study Greek. Been doing this for about 40 years, and all the grammar and all the other stuff I found out to be a waste of time, to tell you the truth. I mean, absolutely, to tell you the truth. I'll tell you more if you ever want to know. But this is totally worth your time, and you can catch so much in so little time.